7 o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials, grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen?
Here.
LaFour?
Here.
Mistravich?
Here.
Reindell?
Here.
Ricks?
Here.
Schultz?
Here.
Warren?
Yep.
Good to see everybody here tonight, except for our city manager, who has fallen ill, and we hope that he feels much better, much quicker here. Gets that out of his system. We need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of January 16th.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We have no audience this evening at this time, so we will go right on to items for consideration. I will not go to the audience unless somebody appears. Adoption of agenda. There are no changes recommended by the city manager. Is there a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion. Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported on accept the consent agenda as presented. There is no discussion on it. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to items for consideration. We have 5 this evening. The first one is consideration of board appointment. I have asked Chrissy Wald, the owner of Shabby Pig and a longtime resident of the city of Richmond, to take a seat on our Economic Development Corporation for a 6-year term. She has submitted the application for a board appointment and is eager to serve on this board. I asked the city council to confirm my appointment of Chrissy Wald. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to confirm the mayor's appointment of Chrissy Wald to EDC for a 6-year term with an expiration date of July 1st, 2028.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion? Appreciate the fact that it didn't take a lot of arm bending. She is eager to serve on our EDC and work with other businesses in the downtown on many different matters that go before them. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 2 is consideration of Diane Lane Reconstruction Bid Award. It's what it says. We're going to reconstruct the Diane Lane, and I'm going to turn this over to our director, Jim Gotzinger.
Good evening. As the mayor had said, Diane Lane is scheduled for reconstruction. It was originally constructed in 2 phases, the eastern part being in 1988, and it was extended in 95. Both stretches, as far as the asphalt pavement, it's in poor condition. The curb sidewalk is in generally good condition, but there are a lot of curb drops, which are where they put the cuts in for a driveway. They were installed during the original construction. Of course, the driveways didn't always line up, so there's quite a few of them that our intention would be to remove those and put normal straight curb through there. And then replace the asphalt pavement. The stone is in good condition and thick enough to remain in place, which saves quite a bit on the cost of the construction. The project was advertised in The Voice and on BidNet, which is our online advertising that we advertise all our projects. This BidNet, formerly called Mitten. We did receive 12 bids. The low bidder was Aztec Asphalt. They've completed a few projects recently in town. Most recently was Howard Street in 2021, and then Madison Street and Pierce Street in 2020. And all those were completed without issue.
Very good. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to award Diane Lane reconstruction project to Aztec Asphalt in the amount of $201,129 with expenses charged the appropriate line item, local street fund.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any further discussion on this item? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. we will be having a meeting of the neighborhood at some point in time. Let you know.
Certainly, yes. And then just to clarify, the Diane Lane was, I guess, further extended as part of the Richmond West subdivision, so this project will end where that project picked up.
Good. Item number 3 is consideration of the library ADA door bid. It's what it says. It's with CDBG funds that we had talked about. Again, I will turn this over to Jim.
So the city recently installed automatic door openers, which is you push the button, the door opens up here at City Hall and then at the senior center, and we'd like to do that again at the library. So the project includes, there's 2 doors at the main entrance, there's a foyer there, and then there's a door on the side of the building, the back entrance, if you will. All 3 of those are proposed for installation, and there's some minor sidewalk repairs that were also included in this bid. We did, again, advertise this project on BidNet as well as in the Voice newspaper, and we received 3 bids, which is the most I think we've received on these projects. And Secure Door was the low bidder, and they are actually the contractor that has performed the previous 2 projects for the city. And the county, who runs the CDBG program, has authorized the city to award the project if it desires.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to award the library automatic door opener project to Secure Door in the amount of $22,254 with the expense charged to the appropriate item within the HUD fund. Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any further discussion on this item? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 4 is consideration of DPW meter building demolition reconstruction bid award. It's what it's stating. This is something that's been on the books for quite some time and we've been saving for. And I'll turn this over to Jim. Jim?
Yes, so this current budget does include $700,000 in funds for this project. As the mayor stated, this project was actually included on the first capital plan in fiscal year 17-18. So we've spent some time kind of preparing. We've done a few small projects, some electrical work and telephone, some different things leading up to this. So the project, it was actually bid as 2 different projects: the demolition of the meter building, which is an old well house currently used for some storage and for kind of break room facilities for the guys, and then that needs to be completed to allow for this extension of the main barn. So the second project, of course, is construction of the main barn. The project was taken to Planning Commission in September of =22, and both projects were advertised in the Voice and on BidNet. And Oakwood Building was the low builder. They were actually the contractor that performed that Eric's Filling Station demolition years back, and they performed that well. In the barn extension project, the low bidder was Booms Construction, and they were actually the contractor that installed the roof on the salt bin at DPW. So they've worked in the city as well.
Very good. Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to award the DPW meter building demolition project to Oakwood Buildings in the amount of $13,880 with expenses charged to the appropriate line items in general, major street, local street, TIFA, sanitary sewer, and water funds.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there any discussion on this item? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We have another motion for the actual barn extension.
I'll make a motion to award the DPW a barn extension project with approval alternates to Booms Construction in the amount of $823,500 with expense charge to the appropriate line item, general major streets, local streets, TIFA, sanitary sewer, and water fund.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this item? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 5 is consideration of Stone Street bid award. It's just what it says. We're going to be redoing Stone Street, and to know more about that, Jim?
Yeah, so Stone Street was last reconstructed in 1994. The water main is actually from 1937, and it has a break history. The pavement itself in Stone Street is in poor condition, of course, and so we're coordinating these two projects. The scope of this project is to install new 8-inch water main, HDPE water main, not ductile iron, which is, I'd say, the traditional, but HDPE is very popular now. It's becoming a traditional item, and that's by directional drilling operation, which allows us to install the water main before the road is removed and kind of minimizes some of the impact of the project. And then once that's completed, the pavement will be removed and, of course, replaced. And then there are some sidewalk, curb, and driveway improvements, as needed throughout the project. I do want to mention that the project is higher than expected, primarily because we added 2 blocks after budgets. We did have 3 water main breaks on Park Street, a block adjacent to Stone Street, and ironically 3 breaks as well on Water Street, which is blocks that are adjacent to Stone Street. So we've added that, which of course increased the cost. Now the cost of utilities in general, or all materials in general, are going up, but the bid was reviewed by our engineers and is found to be very competitive, especially considering the climate that we're in. So they've recommended award.
Very good, thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to award the Stone Street reconstruction project to Telto Contracting in the amount of $1,544,839 with the expense charged to the appropriate line item within the local street, sanitary, and water funds.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this? Make a comment. It may look like city council's rubber stamping all these projects that are brought to us. We have talked about some of these projects for a number of years now and have been putting money away with the idea that we were going to be seeing these projects come to fruition. There's been a lot of study on this, and the city council does not take any of this lightly. And what is nice to see is, again, the low bidders is what our charter says that we must take unless we can prove that the low bid is not in the best interests of the city. These were all the low bidders, and they're all coming from very good companies that we worked with before. So that was good to see, and appreciate all that information over the last couple of years that your department's brought to the council on this. Makes it very easy tonight for us.
Thank you.
To give you the go-ahead on all these projects. Your plate's full. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to miscellaneous matters from the city manager. He just wanted to say he feels terrible that he couldn't make it tonight. We started our workshop at 5:30 tonight. We will be going back into our workshop, which we do every quarter, to talk about a lot of different things and throw out ideas amongst the council and some of the administration that the discussion may be related to. And it's a big thing for us, especially this time of year. But we feel bad he couldn't be here, but he has left us in very good shape with all the information and the administrators that were to come here to help answer some of the questions that we may have. And it's been a good workshop so far. But we wish the best for John and hope he gets much better, much quicker. Council comments. Start off with Mike.
Yeah, I would just echo your comments about the DPW and Jim Getzinger and all the great work that they're doing and the great information he provides, and we've talked about it before, so appreciate that. But then also to the DPW for, since our last council meeting, we had a big snowstorm, and again, I received a lot of compliments about how quick they got out and cleared the roads, and especially even the subdivisions and stuff too, so thanks to DPW and Jim.
Very good, very good. Dennis?
Nothing.
Jim?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Emily?
Just want to congratulate the Parks and Rec for great chili cook-off this past weekend. It was well attended.
John?
Nothing.
Rob?
All set.
Okay. Let's go to the calendar, today being the 6th. What do we have, Rob? We've got a planning commission on the 9th. I don't believe there's a BZA meeting. I don't think. Heather, did you have to send anything out to BZA?
No, there's nothing.
Okay, so, oh yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. Planning will be getting together on Thursday, 7 o'clock, right here at City Hall. And 2 weeks from tonight will be the next regular city council meeting. What do we have here, Rob?
Two of them.
We got two of them. We have, again, those pierogies is on the menu. That is Saturday, March 4th, to learn the art of making handmade traditional pierogies. There is a cost. Any questions on that? This is being run by our city Parks and Recreation Commission in the Richmond Community Center, 727-3064 for any questions. Beginners Yoga is on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. Started on January 9th, will run through April 26th. There's a $6 drop-in per person, or you can get a deal on a punch card. Again, any questions on that, 727-3064. I don't think there's anything else that we have on our calendar here. No. Okay. We moving on. There is no closed session this evening. Is there any other business of the city council? If not, motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion been made and supported to adjourn. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thanks for being with us.